Hello friends, welcome to my YouTube channel. Today I'm here to share my views on the topic pituitary hormones. Before getting into the topic, let's first learn what a pituitary gland is, where it is located, and some information about pituitary gland. Okay, so pituitary gland is located at the base of our brain, especially base of our hypothalamus, and this region is commonly we all known as a human brain, and this is the below region of brain lies the hypothalamus. Below this hypothalamus region lies a small pea-sized gland called as pituitary gland. The adjacent diagram is an expanded view of the pituitary gland. This pituitary gland consists of three lobes, which includes anterior lobe, posterior lobe, and middle lobe. Anterior lobe, posterior lobe, and middle lobe. They three lobes also have the capacity to secrete or produce several hormones necessary for maintaining or balancing the important roles necessary for the hormones to produce in a body. Okay, so this pituitary gland is a part of our endocrine system, and pituitary gland is known as the master gland, and it is in charge of making several essential hormones which regulates our growth, metabolism, and reproduction. As I said earlier, pituitary gland is divided into three main sections, which includes anterior pituitary, posterior pituitary, and middle lobe. Okay, so next let's see about the hormones of the anterior pituitary. So the major hormones secreted by the anterior lobe of pituitary gland includes growth hormone, prolactin, follicle stimulating hormone, luteinizing hormone, thyrotrophic hormone, adrenocorticotrophic hormone. Okay, so in this video we will deal in detail about a specific hormone, its structure, and also its function. Let's begin with the growth hormone, which is also known as somatotrophin. Growth hormone was initially isolated in cattle, but later on it was identified that it can be isolated from human too, and it is done nowadays. Okay, so let's see about the structure. So growth hormone is a single polypeptide with a molecular weight of about 21,500, and it has 191 amino acids with 2 disulfide bridges. The major metabolic role or function of this growth hormone includes that it has a role over several processes like protein synthesis, lipid metabolism, carbohydrate metabolism, and effect on growth or bones and cartilages. Okay, in protein synthesis, growth hormone increases the DNA and RNA synthesis and also the synthesis of collagen. In lipid metabolism, they bring about the breakdown of fatty acids. Carbohydrate metabolism, they oppose the effect of insulin, and in effect of growth of bones and cartilages, growth hormone, as the name indicates, they prolongs the growth of epiphyseal cartilages to cause overgrowth of long bones. Okay, so next let's see about prolactin. Prolactin is a simple protein with 199 amino acids with the 3 disulfide bond linkages. It is secreted by lactotroph alpha cells of pituitary, anterior pituitary. The major role or function of this pituitary prolactin is to stimulate the mammary growth and secretion of milk. Next, let's deal with thyrotrophic hormone or thyroid stimulating hormone. It is produced by the basophil cells of anterior pituitary. Its molecular weight is of about some 30,000, and it is composed of 2 subunits, which includes alpha and beta. Alpha contains 92 amino acids while beta contains 112 amino acids, and they both have several disulfide linkages. So the main role or function of this TSH is to stimulate the synthesis of thyroid hormone and enhance the release of stored thyroid hormones, increases the DNA content, RNA translation of protein, stimulates glycolysis process, TCA cycle, and HMP shunt. Next, let's see about adrenocorticotrophic hormone or corticotrophin. It's a single polypeptide which contains 39 amino acids, and its molecular weight is of about some 4,500, and it is also exists in 2 forms, which are alpha corticotrophin and beta corticotrophin. The major precursor molecule of this ACTH is pro-opiomelanocortin peptide. With the help of the proteolytic enzymes, this POMC is hydrolyzed to give ACTH, which is adrenocorticotrophic hormones, and beta-lipotrophin. Okay, so now in the further slides we also will deal with that beta-lipoprotein is further hydrolyzed with some peptide enzymes to produce gamma, LPH, and endorphins. Okay, the major function of this ACTH is to stimulate the synthesis and secretion of glucocorticoids, increase the transfer of cholesterol from plasma lipoproteins into the fasciculata cells. Next, let's see about the pituitary gonadotrophins, which is follicle stimulating hormone and luteinizing hormone. Okay, so both of them are glycoproteins with sialic acid, hexose, and hexosamine as their carbohydrate moiety. Molecular weight of FSH is 25,000 and LH is 40,000. The beta chain has 112 amino acid residues of FSH, and LH has 112 amino acid residues. Okay, so each chain they have several disulfide bridges. So now let's see about the metabolic role of or function of FSH. In females, it promotes the follicular growth, prepares the Graafian follicle for the action of LH, and enhances the release of estrogen. In case of males, it stimulates the seminal tubule and testicular growth, plays an important role in maturation of spermatozoa. And now let's see about the metabolic role of LH. This hormone is commonly known as interstitial cell stimulating hormone, which is shortly known as ICSH. Okay, so this in females play a major role in causing the final maturation of Graafian follicle and stimulating the ovulation process. It stimulates the secretion of estrogen by the theca and granulosa cells, and also it helps in the formation and development of corpus luteum for the luteinization of cells. Next, let's see about these were the hormones that were dealt which are produced by the anterior pituitary gland. Now let's deal with the hormones which are produced by the middle lobe of pituitary gland. Okay, so the only one hormone which the middle lobe of pituitary gland produces is that melanocyte stimulating hormone. Yes, these hormones are secreted by the intermediate lobe or middle lobe of pituitary gland, which is known as melanocyte stimulating hormone, or MSH in short words. POMC is the precursor molecule, as I said before, for the ACTH stimulation. So this POMC is a precursor molecule, and it produces with the action of the proteases or proteolytic enzyme, it produces ACTH and beta-lipoprotein. So this ACTH is cleaved with the help of the proteolytic enzymes to produce beta MSH, which has 13 amino acids. Okay, so next, as the name indicates, melanocyte indicates the melanin pigment. So this MSH darkens the skin and is involved in the skin pigmentation by deposition of melanin by melanocytes. Okay, so next let's see about the hormones of posterior pituitary lobe. So these hormones are isolated and characterized from the extracts of the posterior pituitary gland, which in the major two hormones produced by the posterior pituitary lobe includes vasopressin, which is also known as arginine vasopressin, and oxytocin. So they both are small peptides which each respectively 9 amino acids. The major difference between oxytocin and vasopressin lies that oxytocin differs from vasopressin with respect to 3rd and 8th amino acid residues. Posterior pituitary hormones are synthesized majorly in the neurosecretory neurons. Okay, so next let's see about the metabolic role or function of vasopressin. They are involved in 3 major roles, which includes antidiuretic hormone affection, urea retention effect, and Presar effect. In antidiuretic affection, it's the major function of this vasopressin, which means it reabsorbs the water from the kidneys by the distal tubules and collecting ducts. In urea retention activity or urea retention effect, the retention of urea takes place, which results in the hypertonicity of the medullary interstitium. This urea retention effect can be reversed by the action of a drug known as phloretin. Okay, so next let's see about the Presar effect. Presar effect includes or stimulates the contraction of the smooth muscles, and thus it also causes vasoconstriction by increasing the cytosolic calcium concentration. Next, let's see about the metabolic role of oxytocin. So the major role of oxytocin is involved in the contraction of smooth muscles. That is the major role, and it is involved in it consists of 2 effects, which includes galactobolic effect and uterine effect. So this galactobolic effect is released due to the neuroendocrinal reflex, such as sucking of nipples. So by doing it causes the contraction of myoepithelial cells around the mammary alveoli and ducts and smooth muscles surrounding the mammary milk sinuses. Uterine effect is actually happens during the pregnancy time. It results in the contraction of uterine muscles for the childbirth. Okay, thank you.